Hey there, comic book enthusiast. Welcome back to After Panels. Today we are going to talk about Red Sonja, published by Dynamite Comics. On the 50th birthday of Red Sonja creation, Dynamite celebrates the date with the start of Volume 7 for the character title. Yes, it's true. 50 years ago, Roy Thomas and Barry Windsor Smith published Red Sonja's first adventure alongside Conan the Barbarian. Inspired by Robert E. Howard's Red Sonja with an I, not a J as we know it, the original Red Sonja was a gunslinging warrior of Russian origin, known as Red Sonja of Rogatino, who had eponymous red hair and a fiery temper. However, she had no connection to Conan, who was also created by Robert E. Howard. It was in 1973 when the duo Thomas and Windsor Smith reimagined her into the character we know today. They introduced her in the Conan the Barbarian title, changing the spelling for her name from Sonja with an Y to a J, Sonja, and set her hometown as Harkania, a country in the Hyborian Age. To celebrate her anniversary, Red Sonja will also receive a new movie, the production of which has started, though the release date is yet to be announced. On the latest San Diego Comic-Con, there was a tease with some new footage. If by any chance any of you guys saw it, can you please share in the comments what you thought of it and what vibes it gave you? Because I'm really interested and I hope that the movie is also good. Sonja really deserves it. There was I believe in 85, a version of the movie with Brigitte Nielsen. It was fine, I guess, but a good and a more accurate version is more than deserved, and the character deserves it. But let's delve into the new comic. We embark on Volume 7 of Red Sonja with the talented writer Torunn Grønbekk. She worked on The Punisher for Marvel, Thor, Valkyries, and many other titles. The art is skillfully handled by Walter Geovani and Omi Remalante Jr. Issue 1 begins in Vestfold. Tord Varg is the high priest of this kingdom. The king died hairless, not hairless without hair, but airless without an air. So he didn't have. So he left the secret of his bloodline and the place to the high priest. Only the high priest know all of this. Even though Varg wanted the crown, he did not want this one because the gods have stopped answering the prayer of this land a long time ago. Yet he has not given up, and he believes he can make a change. But for that, he needs to make a sacrifice of a baby boy that was born just after the king's death. Red Sonja is on the run after being framed with murder of Lady Alaberta, something that happened on issue 0, and it was distributed on the free comic book day. And now she is riding to the sacred ground to see the bishop who owes her a favor. And she is going to collect the favor by asking him to write to Lord Dragos, husband of Lady Alaberta, and now the widow, to explain to him that Red Sonja is in fact innocent. After this, she moves to Gadahul, where she can finally rest a bit and have a drink. But what she didn't expect was that the dark forces may have followed her. And it was now the time for Red Sonja to perish. You know what? This was a good start for Red Sonja. I really enjoyed the pacing of this issue as it lays grounds and sets up for what's to come. I'm very interested in knowing what Tord Varg has to do with all of this and who really is. I mean, that scar on his face surely has a story to go with. It is quite unusual to see the man of the church becoming the owner of the crown. I mean, yes, it's true that the priests usually is puppeteering the king, is in fact who is ruling the kingdom. But here it is fresh to see Thorvard getting the crown, and apparently without any foul play, at least as we know so far. Will we find out how the king died? I think it would be an interesting answer. I'm guessing Sonja will be visiting Vestfold as she runs from the dark forces that she encountered in Gadahul. And she might discover that the baby boy that was sacrificed was in fact King's illegitimate son. Was he? I think he was. Maybe. After all, I'm sure he exists since the writer already established that the High Priest is aware of King's secret bloodline. But then again, clearly the town seemed to have become better since the sacrifice. So the baby could be just an innocent baby, and he was unlucky to born when the king died. I do hope Torunn tells us why Vestfold was cursed all this generation and why no one ever thought of sacrificing before. Because as we know, in those times it was a normal thing to do, right? So why only now? Why only after the king dies that someone thinks about, well, let's go. Oh, maybe it's that. Maybe the king was against sacrifices and he didn't believe in that. It will be interesting to know what happens in the future. I'm guessing that Lord Dragos will still be after Red Sonja, and possibly he is behind all of the dark forces that are following our hero. This issue really sets up a lot of questions, so I'm more than excited for issue 2. And I do hope they keep the humor and action presented in issue 1. The action in early pages where she fights those soldiers that were after her had a decent amount of humor and established the cockiness of the character. That look of defiance she gave just before she started the attack, it was wonderful. With 8.8 as an average critic rating and 8.2 for user rating, I would say everyone recognized the vibe of a classic adventure that Red Sonja gives and has a bright future. What do you guys think of this start? Let me know in the comments. Oh, by the way, if you are new to Red Sonja, don't worry, you don't need to know anything that happened in previous volumes. You can start right here and you will be able to enjoy the series. Just don't forget to come here to this YouTube channel and discuss with me. Oh, that also reminds me that this is the perfect time to ask you to like and subscribe, hit the bell so you get notified when the new video is up. So yeah, that's it, I suppose. This is my review of Red Sonja issue 1, and I hope to see you on the next video so we can talk more about other comics, and take care and keep reading indie comics.